Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and let everyone in.
Thank you. As you come into the Forest Park court session, please make sure that your device is turned to mute.
A medida que van entrando a la sala de la audiencia aquí virtual, por favor asegúrese que su micrófono está apagado y que solamente tiene la cámara prendida.
Also, please ensure that your video is turned on at all times.
Asegúrese que la cámara siempre la tiene prendida todo el tiempo, micrófono apagado.
Please type your full name and your email address in the chat and send it to FPMC.
Por favor, asegúrese de que escribe su nombre completo y su correo electrónico en el chat y lo manda a FPMC.
Let me go over those instructions. Please turn your devices to mute.
Por favor, asegúrese que pone su aparato en silencio, o sea, que apaga o desactiva el micrófono.
I see a few people that are having some difficulties doing that. Turn your devices to mute.
Asegúrese de que pone su micrófono en silencio. Veo algunas personas que todavía tienen el micrófono prendido. Por favor, apague su micrófono y prenda su cámara.
Type your full name and your email address in the chat and send it to FPMC.
Por favor, asegúrese de que escribe su nombre completo y su correo electrónico y se lo manda en el chat y se lo manda a FPMC.
Please ensure that your video is turned on at all times.
Asegúrese que su video está prendido en todo momento.
I want to welcome you all. I am Judge Ronald Freeman.
Bienvenidos todos, soy el juez Ronald Freeman.
This morning's session is the trial session for the Forest Park Municipal Court.
Hoy en la mañana tenemos la sesión de juicios aquí en el Tribunal Municipal de Forest Park.
There are a few rules that I want to share with you that must be abided by.
Voy a compartir con ustedes algunas reglas que quiero decirles y tienen que cumplir, obedecer estas reglas.
Number one, please allot at least 4 hours for this court session.
El número 1, por favor, asegúrese que tiene por lo menos 4 horas para dedicarle a esta sesión.
Make sure your name and email address is typed in the chat and sent to FPMC.
Asegúrese que su nombre completo y su correo electrónico lo escribe en el chat y se lo va a mandar a FPMC.
Be reminded that you are in a court setting.
Recuerde que está aquí en un ambiente de sala de tribunales.
Your dress and your background makes a big difference during this court setting.
La forma como está vestido y el trasfondo forman unos elementos muy importantes aquí en estas audiencias virtuales.
Ensure that you are sitting upright in a chair or some other type of sitting apparatus.
Asegúrese que está sentado en una silla o en cualquier otra forma sentada. No puede estar acostado, sino sentado.
Make sure that you are dressed appropriately.
Asegúrese que tiene la vestimenta apropiada.
Ensure that there are no hats or other things on your head during court service.
Asegúrese que no lleva puesto ningún tipo de sombreros, de cualquier cosa que se ponga en la cabeza durante la audiencia aquí virtual.
Ensure that you are not operating a vehicle during this time.
Asegúrese que no está manejando un vehículo en este momento.
And ensure that there are no distractions in your background.
Y asegúrese que no hay distracciones en el trasfondo.
I'm going to call the calendar.
Voy a llamar la lista de casos.
When you hear your name called, you will re-enter your plea.
Cuando usted oiga su nombre, va a decir cómo se declara.
Your plea will be not guilty.
Su declaración puede ser de culpable,
Guilty,
no culpable
or nolo contendere.
o no lo disputa.
For those who have already entered a not guilty plea, this is your trial date.
Para aquellos que ya se declararon no culpable, hoy es el día de su juicio.
You do have the right to change your plea to guilty or to nolo contendere, but that is your choice.
Usted tiene también el derecho de cambiar su declaración para declararse de otra manera, puede ser culpable o no lo disputa, pero esa es su elección, usted decide eso.
When you hear your name called, if you will announce present,
Cuando usted oiga su nombre, se dice que está presente
so I can get some understanding as to who is here.
para poder yo saber quién está aquí.
There are several cases to which Michael Stinson is representing offenders.
Hay varios casos en que el abogado Stinson, el que está el abogado representante en esos casos,
He is in a breakout room with the prosecutor pre-trying your cases.
él ahora se encuentra hablando con el fiscal en un cuarto virtual privado, hablando y resolviendo sus casos.
Please ensure that your email address and your full name is typed in the chat.
Por favor, asegúrese que su nombre completo y su correo electrónico lo escribió usted ya en el chat
And sent to FPMC.
y se lo va a enviar a FPMC.
This allows all communications to take place through your email.
Esto nos permite que toda la comunicación que se haga entre usted y el tribunal lo hagan a través de su correo electrónico.
Failure to abide by the rules of court
Si no cumple y obedece las reglas que se han establecido en esta sala de juicios, de esta sala de tribunal,
will result in the termination of your virtual session
va a acarrear la consecuencia de que se terminará su audiencia virtual
and you will be ordered to come down to the courthouse.
y a usted se le va a exigir, se le va a ordenar de que venga presente en persona a la sala, al tribunal.
I'm going to call the calendar, and when your name is called, please unmute your device and make an announcement that is guilty, not guilty, or nolo contendere.
Yo voy ahora a llamar a la lista de casos. Por favor, cuando oiga su nombre, active su micrófono y díganos cómo se va a declarar, culpable, no culpable o nolo, y después apaga el micrófono.
Let me go over your rights again so that you will understand them.
Voy a explicarle sus derechos para que usted los entienda.
First and foremost, you are presumed innocent.
Primero y principal, usted tiene la presunción de inocencia.
It is the city's burden to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
Es la carga de la fiscalía comprobar su culpabilidad más allá de todo razonable.
You have the right to a trial,
Tiene el derecho a tener un juicio
and at that trial, you have the right to be represented by an attorney.
y en ese juicio usted tiene el derecho a ser representado por un abogado.
If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, this court will appoint one.
Si usted no puede contratar a su propio abogado, este juez le asignará un abogado de oficio.
If you meet certain statutory requirements.
Si usted cumple con algunos requisitos que exige la ley.
During the trial, you have the right to present evidence,
Durante el juicio usted tiene el derecho de presentar pruebas
and you have the right to refute any evidence that's offered by the city.
y también tiene derecho a refutar cualquier prueba que sea presentada por la fiscalía.
You all have the right to present evidence at the appropriate time.
Usted tiene derecho a presentar las pruebas en el momento debido.
You also have the right to appeal any adverse decision that takes place in the courtroom.
También tiene derecho a apelar cualquier decisión que sea que no sea a su favor que se decida aquí en este tribunal.
All of these rights were provided to you on your arraignment date.
Todos estos derechos se les informó a usted de estos derechos cuando vino el día de la lectura de cargos,
Including the election of having a bench trial here in Forest Park or a jury trial in Clayton County.
incluso la decisión de tener un juicio aquí ante un juez en el tribunal de Forest Park o de tener un juicio conjurado en el tribunal estatal de Clayton.
For those who are having a trial, you have elected to have your trial in Forest Park.
Para aquellos que decidieron tener su juicio aquí en Forest Park.
When you hear your name called, if you will simply state your plea.
Cuando oiga su nombre, simplemente díganos cómo se declara.
If you are a witness in a case, if you will please let me know that you are here.
Y si usted es un testigo en alguno de los casos, por favor déjenos saber que usted está aquí para que el juez sepa que se encuentra aquí el testigo para ese caso.
I do have a listing of witnesses, but I may very well miss your name.
Yo tengo una lista de testigos, pero puede ser que me salte su nombre sin saber.
Janaya Anderson. Janaya Anderson. All right, that is FTA. It is 8:26 a.m. Robbie Berry.
Present, not guilty.
All right, Ms. Berry, you have two different matters. On one of them, Attorney Stinson is representing you in, but you do have one today involving a car accident. And what is your plea on that one?
Not guilty.
All right, is Tina Lee here?
Yes, Your Honor, she is here in the lobby, in the courtroom with me.
All right, we will go forward with that trial momentarily. Thank you. Next is Dante Bradford. Dante Bradford. That is, go ahead, Ms. Yates.
That's a Stinson case.
Dante Bradford. All right, that is an FTA. We'll wait to get an announcement from Stinson. Cavanta Brown.
I want Mr.
Cavanta
Stinson.
Brown.
I want Mr. Stinson.
Are you present?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Stinson is discussing your matter. I just wanted to be sure you were here. Nicholas Camp. Nicholas Camp. Nicholas Camp. That is an FTA. Nicholas Camp. Rayshawn Ellis.
Present.
Thank you. And what is your plea? Well, Mr. Stinson is pre-trying your case. You don't need to say anything.
Yep.
Ashley Phaeton. Ashley Phaeton. That is an FTA. Christopher Freeman.
Present.
And is Corey Downey present? Corey Downey. Absent. Thank you. Amanda Galvin. Amanda Galvin. FTA. Jonathan Middlebrooks.
I'm here.
Thank you, sir. Mrs. Galvin is not present. I'm going to ask you to hold on another 5 minutes and I'm going to excuse you and an FTA will be issued for her. Do you understand that, Mr. Middlebrooks?
You said it's a she?
Okay. There's the person on your case, her name is Amanda Galvin. She is not present.
But it's supposed to be a dude.
Well, they have you down. Ms. Yates, can you shed any light on this one? Is he the witness in the Amanda Galvin matter?
Hold on one moment.
Okay. Let them verify that, Mr. Middlebrooks.
All right.
It is Amanda Galvin. There are multiple people listed in
Okay,
this
so
case.
he is a witness in that one. Okay.
Yes.
All right, he is present. She is not. She is FTA. It is 8:30. All right.
Can you repeat that?
She is not present, sir. So you are excused. Once she is secured, you will be notified of the new court date.
All right, I got one more question. It was the dude that hit me. It wasn't no female.
All right. Who is the other person involved, Ms. Yates? Is that person's case on for today?
So are you referring to the other case we discussed earlier?
No, the accident.
No, this incident is a disorderly conduct incident. No. So I'm not really sure on what you're referring to.
I don't know what this about.
You're a
Okay.
witness in reference to disorderly conduct.
They have you down as a witness, but she is not here, so you are excused, and I'll have them to get to the bottom of this, Mr. Middlebrook. So thank you. You can disengage from the call.
All right, thanks.
All right. Pedro Gonzalez Padilla.
Pedro González Padilla. González Padilla.
That is an FTA, Ms. Ida.
Thank you, Your Honor.
At 8:31 a.m. Eddie Hand.
He's here, Judge.
Thank you.
He's under Ursula's iPhone.
Okay, good. Thank you. Corvez Harris.
Present.
Thank you, sir.
Dijo Pedro González Padilla.
Sí. ¿Usted es el señor Pedro González Padilla?
Soy yo.
Ok, ¿usted necesita intérprete?
Sí.
Okay, Mr. Padilla is here, Your Honor.
What is his
He's,
plea to the charge of driving without a license and failure to signal?
¿Cómo se declara al cargo de manejar sin licencia y de no usar su direccional?
Yo me declaro culpable por manejar sin licencia, pero no me declaro culpable por los cargos que me puso el policía.
I plead guilty to driving without a license, but I don't plead guilty to the other charges that the police gave me.
Was this an accident?
¿Esto fue un accidente?
Fue un accidente, pero a mí el policía no me dio tiempo de explicarle cómo fueron las cosas y ahora sí que él puso todos los cargos en mi contra.
Yes, it was an accident, but the policeman didn't give me a chance to explain what happened, and he gave me all the charges he put him against me. He charged me with everything.
Ms. Yates, I have 2 charges, driving without a license and failure to signal. Is there a witness in this?
Hold on one moment, please.
Judge, it looks like there was a Jonathan Middlebrooks Jr. that was subpoenaed.
That's what case he is on. That's the case he was just talking about. We just excused Mr. Middlebrooks because he was wondering why he was on the Galvin case. All right.
Que había un testigo, pero como no sabíamos para quién era el testigo, que el testigo le dijeron que regresara otro día.
Ms. Yates, I don't know if there's a way for us to reach back out to Mr. Middlebrooks if we have an email address to ask him to re-engage. If not, I'll come back to that. We can go on to the next matter.
Ok, van a ver si traen el testigo de regreso. Espérese aquí, ok, ahora desactive su micrófono hasta que digan su nombre otra vez, señor Padilla.
Muy bien.
Okay.
Next is Cassandra Lang. Cassandra Lang. That is FTA at 8:34. Next is Makia Obla-Bryce. Makia Obla-Bryce.
Judge, there's also a witness on that matter, Sherry Hamilton.
Yes, Sherry Hamilton. Let me repeat this. Makia Obla-Bryce is absent and Sherry Hamilton is absent. City have an announcement in that one?
Well, Judge, being that the defendant is absent, I would just mark it down as
This
an
is going to be an FTA.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next is James Scott. That's Mr. Stinson's matter, isn't it?
It is, Your Honor. He has it down as a.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, I have that one. Is Mr. Scott available? James Scott.
I did not see him on the list, Judge.
All right, he is FTA.
There's
Larry.
also, Judge, on this one, Nathaniel Branscombe.
Yes. Nathaniel Branscombe. He is absent as well. All right. Larry Simpson.
He's in the courtroom, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Judge, that one's gonna be, well, there's a witness on that matter, but it's also it's an accident and well, we can come back to that because a lot of these are document charges, Judge.
Okay. Vaughn Fashaw.
Ms. Smith?
All right, the witness is not present. Sherry Smith.
I'm here.
Ms. Smith, what is your plea to operating a vehicle with no insurance?
Judge, that's Mr.
Judge,
Stinson.
That's Mr. Stinson's. All right, that's being pre-tried. Okay. Vanessa Smith.
Present.
Ms. Smith, what is your plea to the disorderly conduct charge?
No, Nolo.
Do you understand that by entering into the NOLO plea, Ms. Vanessa Smith, that you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
And do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe it is in your best interest to enter into the plea?
Yes, sir.
The court will accept your NOLO plea, Ms. Smith. The fine amount is $430. Are you able to satisfy that in 2 weeks, or do you need a longer period of time?
I should be able to. I just started a job yesterday, but I will get paid for 2 weeks, so that'll probably run about the same time.
So then I will place you on probation for 6 months, and your probation will end the moment this is paid. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, understand if it's paid during the first 29 days, you do not have to pay any monthly probation fees. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If it goes beyond 29 days, in addition to the fine, you will have to pay monthly supervision fee for every month that you're on probation. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, understand that if you violate the terms of your probation, they can bring you back in front of the court on a probation revocation calendar. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Have you typed your name and email address in the chat?
I typed my name in, but I'm not sure if I did my email or not.
Okay. What is your email address?
Okay, it's SHOBEBAD@gmail.com.
I'm sorry, I wasn't ready. Could you repeat, please?
Okay, SHOB as in boy, B as in boy again, AD@gmail.com.
Thank you very much.
You will receive your plea form by close of business tomorrow, where you will enter a NOLO plea, and then you will receive your probation information. Do you understand that, Ms. Smith?
Yes, sir.
All right. Because they have your information, you can disengage from the call, and thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. Next is Azia Wyatt. Azia Wyatt. Is Amanda Galvin present? Is Michael Corby present? Michael Corby. Is Amanda McClarity present? Amanda McClarity. Amanda McClarity. All right. All witnesses are absent. Azia Wyatt is FTA. That concludes the call of the municipal court calendar. We do have a red speed calendar. We will address the red speed cases at the conclusion of this calendar. Is there anyone that is on the line that understood they were on the municipal court and not the red speed calendar? If so, if you will unmute your device and say your name.
It's De La Rosa.
Judge, that's my case. I sent a chat message to the clerk to ask them to pull his file. There was some confusion that he initially was appointed to another attorney, but his file was sent to me and I've been handling it. So we've asked to put him on this calendar if we can pull his file.
What is the announcement on his matter?
It's going to be a plea.
All right. All right. We will deal with Mr. De La Rosa then at the end of the calendar. Is there anyone else? All right. Mr. Middlebrooks, thank you for coming back. I think we have the right case that you're on, sir, if you will just hold on.
Judge, if I could ask about a couple of clients before I came back, did Robbie Berry answer?
Yes, she's here.
Yeah, she's here and so
Okay.
is the witness.
I have a
Okay,
comment about the Robbie Berry case. There was no incident report
on the
for that
DUI
file.
case?
Correct.
Correct. Only the accident report we sent you.
Okay. I guess I'll need to talk with the solicitor about that one again.
Okay.
Did Dante Bradford answer?
No,
Okay, so he's FTA.
correct.
Judge, every one of these clients on this calendar, I sent a letter to the address I had in the file about this
Okay.
morning's court. Did Mr. Brown answer?
Yes,
Okay, all right, that's good. And let's see, did Mr. Ellis answer?
yes,
Okay. Did Ashley Phaeton answer?
no, she is FTA.
No, she just walked in. She just walked in late, Your Honor.
All right. She is now
Okay.
present. She is now
Mr.
present, Mr. Stinson.
All right, Mr. Freeman is
He is
there.
present. Mr.
Mr.
Freeman
Hand-
is
okay.
present.
Okay, and I think that's everybody else we got. All right.
All right. We do have one of the files, but most of the bulk of the case are your cases, Mr. Stinson. So let's go to.
Okay. If we can bring up Mr. Brown first.
All right.
Judge, this is Mr. Brown, did you unmute yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Judge, Mr. Brown is here and prepared to plead to a DUI. It's my understanding, Judge, this is his 3rd and 5. But the solicitor has made the determination he's going to amend this charge to reckless driving. There is some information I would like the court to be aware of. Mr. Brown, yes, has the third, this is in the DUI court in Lowndes County, Judge.
Yeah, let me ask you this,
And I
Mr.
have,
Stinson, you're saying this is his 3rd DUI within 5 years?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't, okay, go ahead.
And he is in the DUI court program down there. And I have spoken with his counselor in the DUI court, and she has nothing but raves about him. Says he's the most outstanding person in their program right now and is doing everything he's supposed to do. And he has been sober since the day of the arrest for this case. And as part of that program, Judge, he is involved in comprehensive treatment. All the other requirements that would ordinarily be required under a DUI conviction, he's taking part of them. He goes to counseling services 3 times a week, support meeting 1 time a week, at either an AA, Celebrate Recovery, or Smart Recovery. He's had no violations whatsoever. He reports to probation weekly. He passes a minimum of 2 drug and alcohol screens a week. He has a curfew under the DUI court program, and he has been home every time a random curfew check has been completed. And he is, one of the things he's required to do is a moral recognition therapy program. And Judge, I will just say from my interactions with him, probably in my experience, this is one of the very few clients that I've ever represented on a multiple DUI that has simply acknowledged and recognized the issue and has jumped full speed ahead to getting his recovery. His attitude is great. He understands what he's done in the past, and he's working every single day to get this behind him.
So tell me, what is the negotiated plea?
Judge, the amended to a reckless and the standard first plea for a DUI would be all the requirements.
So I will tell you, I will go along with the amendment, but the fine will be treated as if this is his third DUI.
Okay.
Now, how is he supporting himself?
I believe Mr. Brown is working as well. Is that correct, Mr. Brown?
Yes, sir.
And is he on probation paying fines anyplace else?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Stinson, do you know what amount of fines he's being required to service per month now?
I do not know the full amount.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Brown. When does your probation end in the other matters?
My probation ends January 2024.
So you'll be on probation all of next year too?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I complete this program July 29th, I believe, as long as I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do.
Of 2023 or 2024?
2023.
All right. You are 24, 20, 23, 24 years old?
I'm 24, sir.
That's what I thought. All right. Mr. Stinson, is there anything else you'd like to say, sir?
No, Judge.
All right. Is there anything from the prosecutor on this one?
Nothing further, Judge.
All right. So it's my understanding that the city is agreeing to reduce the DUI to a reckless, and he is going to enter a guilty plea to that. Is that correct, Mr. Stinson?
That is correct.
All right. Mr. Brown, do you understand that you're entering this guilty plea with the assistance of a lawyer? I think we have locked up. Mr. Brown?
Yes, sir. I understand.
All right. Are you entering this guilty plea with the assistance of a lawyer, Michael Stinson?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe it is in your best interest to enter into the plea?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand that by entering into this guilty plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
The court will accept your guilty plea to the reckless driving charge and will sentence you accordingly. You will be ordered to complete 40 hours of community service at a recognized nonprofit 501c3, and this can be done in conjunction with the DUI court. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You're also required to complete a risk reduction course. And this requirement can be done within the confines of the DUI court program that you're within. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You're also required to undergo a drug and alcohol evaluation, and any treatment that is recommended, you are to partake of that, and that too can be done within the confines of the DUI program. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You also understand that you are to abstain from the consumption of alcohol and non-prescribed drugs while you are under the sentence of this court. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You are also to comply. Excuse me?
And do I need to get a copy of my DUI school to Mr. Stinson, or how does that work?
You will get it to probation.
Okay.
And you should give Mr. Stinson a copy as well.
All right, yes, sir.
You are also to comply with all of the requirements of the DUI program to which you're currently under. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And a violation of that program serves as a violation of your sentence of probation in this case. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You also understand that you will be placed on probation and 12 months of your probation is mandatory. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The fine for the third DUI is, and I'm going to bump it down a little bit, but it is $1,895. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You will be ordered to pay that over the term of your probation, and you must comply with all terms and conditions within the first 10 months of your 12-month probation. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. And I'm not able to pay that 1,800 during tax time. I could pay the full amount.
You will be paying it. They will spread it out over they will amortize this out over a 10-month period. And you can talk to probation that you could pay off your fine, although you still have the other terms and conditions that you must comply with. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Stinson, he is not eligible for a first DUI conviction affidavit.
No, no.
All right. Mr. Prosecutor, are there any terms and conditions that you all discussed that the court did not impose?
No, Your Honor, I think that was everything.
All right, Mr. Stinson, are there any terms and conditions that we did not discuss that the court did not address that you all discussed?
No, Judge.
All right. Mr. Brown, you were also appointed counsel through the city of Forest Park. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
At the time of your appointment, the city intimated that it might seek restitution for the court-appointed fees. Do you understand that?
What does that mean, sir?
In other words, that the city of Forest Park has the right to be reimbursed for the legal services provided by Attorney Stinson. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Those fees cannot exceed $250. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If I were to award that to the city, that $250 would be to your fine balance of $1,895. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any objection to Attorney Stinson's fees being added to the fine?
No, sir.
It's going to bring your total fine balance up to $2,145. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
That will be the amount that you will service on probation. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Sir, have you typed your name and email address in the chat?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Yates, do we have his information?
One moment.
And Mr. Brown, if you could just repeat your email address.
I have it.
KEV. Oh, she has
She
it.
says that she has it. By close of business tomorrow, you will receive your plea form, to which you will enter a guilty plea and send it back. And then you will receive your probation information. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Yates, do you need for me to repeat what the terms and conditions of probation are?
No, sir, I have it.
All right, then Mr. Brown,
And-
unless Mr. Stinson needs to further talk with you, you can disengage from the call.
And Judge,
Yes,
since I live in Lowndes County, will it be by phone or like, you know?
your probation will be based, once they can verify your place of residence, your probation can be done telephonically if they do not have a probation office in your area.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right,
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
okay. Who is next?
Judge, that would
Judge,
Rayshawn Ellis, I think, is up Mr. Stinson's next case.
All right, Mr. All right,
Need to
I understand.
speak
This
with-
one is a
yeah.
pretrial.
We already,
with him.
yes, we already discussed this matter,
No.
Your Honor. I believe Mr. Stinson needs to talk to Mr. Ellis.
Yes,
Okay,
we can go ahead with Mr. Freeman, Judge.
okay. Mr. Freeman,
Do we have a witness in court on the case?
Mr. Corey Downey is not here.
We're gonna dismiss from the prosecution.
All right, does the city have a response?
Let me just make sure, Judge, that we actually sent out the notice. I believe we did, because clerk's always good at that.
Mail 10/17/22.
I mailed a copy to Corey Downey on October 17th.
Okay, well, having heard no announcement from the witness, Judge, the city will move to dismiss for warrant of prosecution.
All right. In the Christopher Freeman matter, that case will be dismissed for warrant of prosecution. Let's go to the next case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You can, sir, have you typed your name and email address in the chat?
Yes, sir.
Do we have Mr. Freeman's information?
I don't see it.
Mr. Freeman, if you'll please provide us with your email address, sir.
Christopher Freeman, 2 N's on Freeman, the number 77 at gmail.com.
Okay, Christopher Freeman, 2 N's on the end, and then 77 at gmail.com.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Freeman, you will receive your plea form to which you will enter a not guilty plea, and then you will receive the dismissal for warrant of prosecution, sir. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, sir, you can disengage from the call. Thank you. Who is
Thank
next, Mr. Stinson?
Eddie Hand.
All right. Eddie Hand.
Mr. Hand, unmute your mic.
Okay, yes, President.
All right, what is the announcement in the Eddie Hand matter?
Judge, this is gonna be a guilty plea to the amended charge of reckless driving. This is first in life, and he is 63 years old, Judge, and guilty plea to the drive. Recommendation is standard sentence for offense.
All right. Mr. Hand, it's my understanding you're entering a guilty plea to the amended charge of reckless driving. Is that correct, sir?
Yes,
You're also entering a guilty plea to the traffic violation. Is that correct?
yes,
Are you entering the guilty plea to both charges? You understand you're doing this with the assistance of an attorney, Michael Stinson. Is that correct?
yes,
Sir, are you entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
freely.
And do you understand that by entering this plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes,
And sir, do you believe it is in your best interest to enter into the plea?
yes,
Sir, the court will accept your guilty plea to the reduced charge of reckless driving and the traffic offense. The fine on the DUI is $1,295. Do you understand that?
yes,
The fine on the traffic offense is $150. Do you understand that?
yes,
Sir, you will be placed on probation for 24 months. Do you understand that?
yes,
12 months of your probation will be mandatory. Do you understand that?
yes,
While on probation, you must complete 40 hours of community service at a recognized nonprofit 501c3 within the first 120 days. Do you understand that?
yes,
Do you also understand that you must undergo a drug and alcohol evaluation and you must partake of any treatment that is recommended? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Sir, do you also understand that you must complete a risk reduction course within the first 120 days of your sentence? Do you understand that? Mr. Hand, do you understand that?
Yes.
And do you also understand that you must abstain from the consumption of alcohol and non-prescribed drugs while you are on probation? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Mr. Stinson, and it's my understanding you're eligible for a first DUI conviction after. You understand that, Mr. Hand?
Yes.
Once I sign this order, your driver's license, I suspended or will be suspended. You can take this affidavit to the Department of Driving Services. They will determine your eligibility for a limited driving permit. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you are
Judge.
granted a limited driving permit, you must comply with all terms and conditions. And at some point, hopefully your full driving privileges will be reinstated. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Sir, do you have any questions regarding the probation in this matter or your sentence?
No.
All right. Sir, you also understand that Attorney Stinson was appointed through the City of Forest Park Court. Do you understand that?
Yes.
At the time of his appointment, sir, the city intimated that it might seek restitution for the court-appointed fees. Do you understand that?
Yes.
In this case, the city is seeking restitution for the fees in the amount of $250. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If that is added to your fine and probation balance, it would raise $1,695. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you have any objection to the adding of Attorney Stinson's attorney's fees to your probation balance?
No.
All right. That will be added. The total amount that you will be serving on your 24-month probation, 12 months mandatory, is $1,695. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Sir, have you provided the court with your email address?
No, this is his daughter. He doesn't have an
Yes.
email address, so can I provide mine?
You certainly can. What is your name?
It is Ursula Smith.
Okay, Ms. Smith, what is your email address?
Okay, it's my first name, Ursula, URSULAMARIKO@yahoo.com.
Ms. Yates, do you have that?
Can you repeat that, please?
Okay, it's Ursula, URSULAMARIKO@yahoo.com.
Thank you.
You're
All right.
welcome.
All right. Mr. Hand, that will conclude your matter with the court. Mr. Stinson, is there anything that you want to add regarding the sentence of Mr. Hand?
I just wanted to confirm that that was amended to reckless.
It was amended to reckless.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Judge. That was it.
All right. Computer, is there anything that you want to add or modify to the sentence?
You talking to me, Your Honor?
No, I'm talking to the prosecutor.
Oh,
No, Your Honor.
All right. That will conclude the matter with Eddie Hand. Mr. Hand, you can disengage from the call.
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Your
Thank
Honor.
you. All right. Mr. Stinson, next matter.
Next matter would be, let me think, go back to Corvez Harris.
All right. What is the announcement on Mr. Harris?
Judge, that's we're gonna enter a guilty plea to these charges.
Okay. He has a control device, a failure to have license on person, and a DUI.
Yes.
All right.
Mr. Stinson, that I thought that we said that failure to have person on the license on device, license on person was not going to be I thought it was dropped or something like that, because I wasn't even charged with that originally. Like, I don't even know where that charge came from.
Yeah, Judge, that is not showing on the citations in case that I had that it might have been a warning.
Okay, Ms. Yates, I see it on the docket. Was he issued a citation for failure to have license on person?
1 second, checking now.
Okay. I don't think the city what's the city's position on that?
I wasn't issued.
I have, if he can show that he had a valid license, I have no objection to dismissing that charge.
All right.
Your Honor, the citation was voided. The officer sent a text sheet to void that.
Okay, so then there is no charge of failure to have license on person.
Okay.
So we're moving forward with the DUI and the traffic control device.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Harris, do you understand that you're entering a guilty plea to the traffic control device citation and the driving under the influence citation? Do you understand that?
I understand that, but if I actually haven't. I would like to talk to Mr. Stinson again if there's a chance to see what we came up with. We did speak yesterday, and we just said that we would see each other today in court as far as to what's that going to come with. I think we did discuss.
Okay. I'll talk with him again, Judge.
That's fine. All right, let's go to the next person, Mr. Stinson.
Judge, can I interrupt real quick before you do that?
Yes.
I know that we have to come back to the Padilla matter, which is the interpreter case, and we released the witness on that. Ms. Ida needs to do something. Can she log off and then come back in within the next 20 minutes, Judge?
Yes.
That's the only case that she has right now, but we haven't come back around to dealing with that one.
Well, why don't we go ahead and deal with it if that's her only case?
All right.
Why don't we just go ahead and deal with it? Mr. Middlebrooks is back on as well.
Is he? Okay.
Thank you.
Judge, if I can get put in a breakout room with the people that are present in court, or the other people that I need to speak to, all my clients remaining, I can take care of that while you're taking care of these two cases.
All right, let us put Mr. Stinson and his clients in a breakout room.
Good morning, Judge Freeman.
Good morning.
My defendant FTA, am I free to go?
Let me look, Arnold.
Cassandra Lang.
That is correct. You are released.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.
Well, he knows you too. He's talking about.
Excuse me, Judge Freeman.
You deal with the ones that are here.
Yes, Edwards.
Yes, I believe mine is going to be an FTA along with Officer Simmons' case as well.
Let me. All right, you have James Scott. That's Mr. Stinson. That is an FTA. You are released.
Okay.
And who else did you say?
Officer Simmons and Officer Thicklin.
Officer Thicklin, that is an FTA. And Dante Bradford, that one on Simmons is an FTA as well.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. All right, are we ready for Miss Ida?
I'm here, Your Honor.
Are we ready, Mr. Prosecutor? Are you ready for Miss Ida's matter? I think he may be frozen just a little bit.
It's a little bit frozen, I see that. Oh, there he goes.
Judge, are we holding for something?
Yes, I was asking you, are you ready to go forward with the Gonzalez Padilla matter?
I'm sorry, Judge. My thing was on mute. I couldn't hear you.
That's fine. And are you ready to go forward with that?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Middlebrooks?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Middlebrooks, it looks like you were involved in a traffic accident with Mr. Gonzalez Padilla. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
All right. He's entered a not guilty plea. He's entered a guilty plea to the driving without a valid license charge. Can you confirm that, Ms. Ida?
Señor Padilla, usted se declaró culpable a manejar sin licencia, pero no al otro cargo, ¿es eso correcto?
Mr. Middlebrooks, are you operating a vehicle, sir?
I'm pulling over right now.
Please do that.
Señor Padilla, por favor, active su micrófono y déjenos saber, contesta la pregunta que le hizo el juez.
I'm pulled over.
Señor Padilla. Señor Padilla, ¿nos puede escuchar?
Claro, estoy escuchando.
Ok, el juez le preguntó que si usted se declaraba culpable a manejar sin licencia, pero no culpable a los otros cargos.
Es correcto.
Yeah, that is correct, Your Honor. Pleading guilty to driving without a license, but not guilty to the other charges.
All right. Let me go ahead and take the plea on the driving without a license. Senor Gonzalez Padilla, do you understand that by entering into the guilty plea on the driving without a license, you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Judge,
Señor Padilla, ¿usted entiende?
can I
Yeah,
interrupt?
Mr.
His camera is not on, or something is going on with it, so we can't even make out a picture. on it.
Mr. Gonzalez Padilla.
Señor Padilla, tenemos que verlo en la cámara. Por favor, prenda su cámara y póngala para poderlo ver. Si no lo podemos ver, no podemos continuar con la audiencia.
Okay.
¿Usted entiende que declararse culpable al cargo de manejar sin licencia lo está haciendo sin la representación de un abogado?
Entiendo.
Yes, I do.
Ask him, is he operating a vehicle today?
¿Usted está operando un vehículo ahora mismo? ¿Se encuentra en movimiento, en circulación?
Estoy
No.
aquí en mi casa, me salí para afuera.
No, I am here park or, outside my house. I just came out of my house.
Ask him, does he have a valid driver's license?
¿Usted tiene una licencia válida para conducir?
No, yo estoy en trámite con inmigración y estoy esperando que me lleguen mis documentos para yo poder tramitar mi licencia.
No, I am right now in the process with immigration, waiting for the documents to get processed so I can get those and then apply for my license.
And he understands he's not to operate a vehicle until he gets a valid driver's license.
Y usted entiende que usted no puede manejar un vehículo hasta que usted tenga una licencia válida. ¿Entendió eso?
Entiendo.
I do understand.
All right. Sir, on the driving without a valid license charge, do you understand you're entering this plea without the assistance of a lawyer?
Y señor, ¿usted entiende que en el cargo de manejar sin licencia está declarando de esta manera y sin la representación de un abogado? ¿Entendió eso?
Entiendo.
I do.
Do you also understand that by entering the plea, you're waiving your right to a trial?
Y también está renunciando al derecho a tener un juicio cuando se declara culpable este cargo. ¿Entendió eso?
Entiendo.
I do.
Are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
¿Se está declarando de esta manera por su propia voluntad y libremente?
Bueno, como les dije hace un rato.
Ok, él está preguntando, ¿se está declarando de esta manera por su propia voluntad y libremente?
Sí.
Yes.
And do you believe it's in your best interest the guilty plea to the driving without a license charge?
¿Y usted entiende que lo que más le conviene ahora es declararse culpable al cargo de manejar sin licencia?
Entiendo.
I do.
The court will accept your guilty plea to the charge Ms. Yates, is this the first time he's been charged with this?
El juez acepta su declaración de culpable de este cargo. Está preguntando si es la primera vez, le está preguntando al secretario si es la primera vez que usted comete este delito.
I do not have a criminal history. I only have a driver history and it's saying no driver found.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
The court will impose a fine of $8.95 on the driving without operating a vehicle without a valid license. Sir, are you able to pay that in 2 weeks or do you need a longer period of time?
El juez va a imponer una multa de $895 por manejar sin licencia. ¿Usted puede pagar eso a más tardar en 2 semanas o necesita más tiempo?
En 2 semanas, está bien.
Okay, in 2 weeks.
All right. You will be given 2 weeks to pay that. Has he provided us with his email address?
A usted le van a dar 2 semanas para que usted pague esto. ¿Usted puso en el chat su correo electrónico?
Sí, puse mi correo electrónico, pero de igual manera, la primera corte que tuve lo puse porque me lo pidieron para que me avisaran y nunca me llegó correo. Tuve que mandar yo una persona a preguntar.
Yes, I did put it on the chat, and even though I gave it to them the first time that I went to court, I never received a notification about this hearing. I had to send somebody to the court to find out when the hearing was, but I did put it in the chat.
All right, Ms. Yates, do we have his email address?
I've gone through the chat and I do not see his email address.
Ms. Ida,
Okay.
will you ask him to please to provide you with his email address so that we can get it?
Okay, nos puede dar su correo electrónico porque no lo tiene en el chat. Dígame el correo electrónico, deletréemelo, por favor.
Muy bien, se lo deletreo. Es Pedro González Padilla, todo junto.
Okay, espérese un momentito. Okay.
50
Ujú.
@gmail.com.
Gmail.com. Ok, eso es su nombre con el número 50, ¿no?
Exactamente, mi nombre completo, Pedro
Ok.
González, lleva ZZ.
González con 2 Z. Okay, it's his name, Pedro González Padilla 50 @gmail.com.
I received it. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
everyone is going to testify. Mr. Middlebrooks and Mr. Gonzalez Padilla, if you'll please raise your right hand.
Las personas que van a testificar ahora para los siguientes cargos, por favor, señor Padilla, señor Middlebrook, levanten su mano derecha.
Do you swear or affirm
¿Usted jura o afirma
that the testimony you're about to give
que el testimonio que va a presentar ahora,
to be the truth, the whole truth,
que sea la verdad y toda la verdad,
and nothing
Sí.
but the truth?
y nada más que la verdad?
So help you God.
Lo jura por Dios.
If so, say I do.
Y si así
I
lo
do.
hace, diga que sí lo va a hacer, que lo
All right.
jura.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Prosecutor.
Yes, Your Honor. On May 26 of 2022, Mr. Pedro González Padilla received a citation
El 26 de mayo del 2022, el señor Pedro González Padilla recibió una citación
that was issued by Officer Moss from the Forest Park the Police Department.
que fue emitida por el agente Moss del Departamento de Policía de Forest Park.
Your Honor, this resulted in an accident with another individual, Jonathan Middlebrooks.
Esto resultó que hubo un accidente con otro individuo y ese individuo es el señor Jonathan Middlebrook.
And based on the fact that Officer Moss did not witness the accident, we don't need his testimony.
Y como el agente Moss no presenció el incidente o el accidente, no necesitamos que esté presente para que dé su testimonio.
Ultimately, Officer Moss charged Mr. González Padilla with improper lane change.
Como esto resultó del accidente, el agente Moss culpó o le dio el cargo al señor Padilla por no cambiar de carril debidamente.
And Mr. Middlebrooks was the witness and the victim to that accident, so he would be the first witness I call, Judge.
Y el señor Brook fue la víctima y el testigo del accidente, es el primer testigo que yo voy a llamar.
Mr.
Go ahead and call Mr. Middlebrooks.
Mr. Middlebrooks, on the date in question, were you involved in a motor vehicle accident with Mr. González Padilla?
Señor Brooks, en el momento del accidente, Mr. Brook, you need to wait until I interpret, please, and then you can answer, so that way Mr. Padilla know what we're saying. Señor Brook, usted estuvo involucrado en un accidente con el señor Padilla en el día que dijimos del accidente. El señor Brook dijo sí.
Mr. Middlebrooks, can you state to the court how the accident happened from your position?
Señor Brook, ¿le puede decir al tribunal cómo fue que ocurrió, al juez cómo fue que ocurrió el accidente desde su punto, de su postura, de su punto de vista?
Now can I talk, interpreter?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right, I was in the turning lane at a complete stop.
Yo estaba
González
yo estaba en la línea, parado en un alto parado.
Take
González
breaks
was coming.
when you speak. Take breaks in between so that she can go ahead and interpret when she stops, and you can go ahead and continue. Okay.
All right.
Can you can you start from the beginning, Mr. Brook, please?
Start
Pero
over.
él,
Ok, señor Pedro, necesita esperar a que el señor diga una cosa y que yo interprete, y ahorita es el momento del señor decir las cosas, no es para que usted refute nada, usted le va a tocar su momento para que diga su punto de vista, ¿ok?
muy bien.
I just told Mr. Gonzalez he needs to wait for the witness to give his version of the story, and then he will have time to do his own version, and then that he needs to listen to what Mr. Brook is saying, Your Honor.
Mr. Middlebrooks, go ahead and continue.
I was in the left turning lane. González
Yo
came.
estaba en la línea de izquierda para voltear y luego llegó González.
He came into the left turning lane face to face when I tried to swerve over.
Entonces él estaba de cara a cara cuando yo estaba en la línea para voltear de enfrente y vino de frente.
I tried to move out the way. He hit the whole left side of my car, and he continued to proceed to keep going.
Yo traté de moverme, pero él le pegó a todo el lado izquierdo de mi carro y procedió y siguió.
He was a couple feet away from the accident.
Él estuvo un par de pies alejado del accidente.
When he realized he had a flat tire, that's when he pulled over to the side.
Cuando se dio cuenta que tenía una llanta pinchada, entonces se fue que se arrimó y se puso al lado.
Is that it, Mr. Middlebrooks?
¿Eso es todo,
Yes,
señor
sir.
Brooks? Sí.
No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
No tengo más
right.
preguntas para este testigo, su señoría.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez Padilla, do you have any questions you'd like to ask Mr. Middlebrooks?
Señor González Padilla, ¿tiene preguntas que le quiera hacer al señor Brook? Middlebrook, perdón.
No, ninguna.
No, I don't have any.
All right. Does the city have any other evidence?
The city that has no other witnesses, Judge, the city would rest.
All
La
right,
fiscalía
Mr.
no
Go
tiene
ahead.
más testigos, la fiscalía no tiene más testigos, por lo tanto, todos los testigos que van a presentar.
Mr. Gonzalez Padilla, would you like to tell the court what happened?
Señor González Padilla, ¿le quiere decir al juez lo que pasó? Por favor, haga pausa, señor González Padilla, para yo interpretar correctamente.
Lo que pasó, yo estaba parado en la línea amarilla
I was stopped at the yellow line
porque yo iba a entrar a la izquierda
because I was going to turn left.
y cuando yo vi que él ya venía de frente, pero como sí venía demasiado rápido para hacer la línea amarilla, él venía corriendo demasiado rápido.
And then since I saw him coming, he was coming very fast and he was coming into the yellow line.
Lo que yo hice al momento fue salirme de la raya amarilla para que él no me pegara de frente y todo el golpe que él me dio a mí fue en el costado.
What I did was to move away from the yellow line so that way he wouldn't hit me a collision from the front part. And that way, you know, I will move to the side so that he wouldn't hit me right there. And I moved and it was coming very fast.
All right. Ask him, is there anything else he'd like to say?
¿Algo más que quiera decir?
No, todo.
No, so that's it.
All right. Tell him that the prosecutor may have some questions that he'd like to ask.
El fiscal puede ser que le tenga preguntas que le va a hacer ahora.
Mr. Padilla, I believe you testified that you moved. Well, let me ask you, was that yellow line the line that was dividing your lane from the lane that Mr. Middlebrooks was traveling in?
Esa línea amarilla era la línea que estaba dividida, que estaba dividiendo el carril por donde venía el señor Middlebrook.
Sí.
Yes.
So am I correct in assuming that when you moved from that lane, that you moved into the lane of oncoming traffic?
Entonces puedo suponer que cuando usted se quitó de esa línea, de esa línea, usted realmente se metió en el carril donde venía el tráfico en dirección opuesta.
Exactamente, solo que me quité de la línea amarilla para
Exactly. It's just that I move away from the yellow line.
No further questions, Judge.
No tengo más preguntas.
All right. Mr. Gonzalez Padilla, is there anything else you'd like to say, sir? Any other testimony or evidence?
Señor Padilla, ¿algo más que usted quiera decir? ¿Cualquier otro testimonio que quiera presentar?
No.
No.
All right. Looks like the city and Mr. Padilla have rested their cases. The court finds on the failure to signal charge. The court does find you guilty of the violation. The fine amount is $200. Do you understand that, Mr. Gonzalez Padilla?
Después que han presentado todas las pruebas, el juez determina que el señor Padilla sí es culpable por no haber usado la direccional. La multa por ese cargo son $200 de multa. ¿Usted entiende eso, señor Padilla?
Entiendo.
I understand.
Are you able to pay the total sum of $1,095 within 2 weeks, or do you need a longer period of time?
¿Usted puede pagar la suma total de $1,095 a más tardar en 2 semanas o necesita más tiempo?
Está bien en 2 semanas.
2 weeks is fine.
All right, tell him he will be given 2 weeks to pay the sum of $1,095. On the driving without a license, he entered a guilty plea on traffic offense of failure to signal. He was found guilty by the court.
Usted tiene 2 semanas para pagar estas 2 multas. En la multa de manejar sin licencia, usted se declaró culpable. Y luego cuando fuimos al juicio, en el cargo de no ponerse la
Plea form
direccional,
through
el
his
juez
email
lo
address, and he will
determinó
also be
culpable.
presented with it.
I'm
And
sorry,
he
Your
will
Honor.
be presented with it when he comes down to the court to make payment.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Can you repeat that for me? Because I think you broke off.
Yeah, he will be sent his plea form through his email address no later than close of business tomorrow.
Okay, le van a mandar los documentos para que haga su declaración y los documentos para que se comprometa a pagar a más tardar al terminar el día de mañana.
If he fails to respond, he will also be presented with a plea form when he comes down to pay the fine of $1,095.
Si usted no está de acuerdo con esto o no cumple con esto, le van a dar el formulario cuando llegue para pagar la multa de los $1,095 que venga en persona a pagar la multa.
That will conclude this case.
Esto concluye su caso.
Mr. Middlebrooks, thank you for coming back on the line.
Your phone breaking up. What you say?
Mr. Middlebrooks, thank you for coming back on the line, sir, and you can disengage from the call.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Mr.
Gonzalez Padilla, you can disengage as well.
Señor González Padilla se puede retirar.
Okay, gracias.
May I be excused?
You can. Thank you, Ms. Ida.
Thank you.
Let's
See
go
you
to
this
the next
afternoon.
matter. Mr. Prosecutor, what is your next matter?
Judge, I believe we're back on Mr. Stinson's cases.
Okay. You also have you have a trial, I will tell you, on we have a couple of trials that we need to deal with as well. All right, let's get back to Mr. Stinson's case. Mr. Stinson, what is your next matter? And we have a trial on Robbie Berry on the traffic offense with Tina Lee.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Stinson. What's your next matter?
Judge Rayshawn Ellis.
Present.
All right. What is the announcement on Rayshawn Ellis?
Judge, Mr. Ellis would like to plead no to the both citations, one for the city ordinance offense of loitering, once of the open container. Judge, what we would like you to be aware of before imposing sentence is that Mr. Ellis was in from out of town. He was waiting for a friend to get off of work. He parked behind a closed business and he fell asleep there waiting for his friend to get off work. They were catching a flight out of Atlanta Hartsfield early the next morning. Someone called the police to investigate a suspicious vehicle. They went out there, they found him asleep in his car. And after not being able to provide an answer why he was there at a closed business, they arrested him and then found an open container that was almost completely empty of alcohol. And those are the basis for the charges. Judge asks that you take that into consideration. That's the only conduct he's accused of. He was just someplace he wasn't supposed to be, sleeping, waiting for his friend to get off work.
Okay. All right. Is there anything from the prosecution?
Nothing further, Judge. That we negotiated the amended loitering charge to a city disorderly.
Okay. All right. Mr. Ellis, is my understanding you're entering a guilty plea to a disorderly conduct charge and a possession of open container. Is that correct, sir?
I thought it was a NOLO.
I'm sorry, you're entering a NOLO plea to
A NOLO plea.
disorderly conduct charge and an open container charge. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you're entering this plea with the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
Sir, are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And sir, do you believe it is in your best interest to enter into the plea?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is there anything you'd like to say, Mr. Ellis?
You know, just reiterating what Attorney Stinson said, you know, I just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I am currently, you know, unemployed. I'm starting a job here in the next 3 weeks. So I just ask that, you know, just have some leniency so I can put this behind me. And, you know, whatever, hopefully small fine you can, you know, give me, that'll help me out so I can really get this done and put it behind me.
So let me tell you, the total fine is going to be $550, which includes the court-appointed fees. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So,
Now,
sir, you will be sentenced to pay the sum of $550. 200 of that will be the court-appointed fees. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Can that be paid weeks, or do you need a longer period of time?
What I was going to ask was, I paid a cash bond when I got out. Can I not take that?
Well, if you have a cash bond, a total cash bond, the court will forfeit the cash bond. Does he have a cash bond in this matter? And if
Yes.
so, the court will, all right, then your cash bond will be forfeited. That will include the court-appointed fees. Do you understand that?
Judge Freeman,
Yes.
that cash bond is $430.
It's $430?
Yes, sir.
All right. Sir, in addition to the $430, you will need to pay an additional $120.
Okay.
All right. Can that be paid within the next 2 weeks?
Yes.
All right. Have you typed your name and email address in the chat?
Yes.
Do we have his information, Ms. Yates?
Yes, we do.
All right. So Mr. Ellis, you will pay an additional $120, which will cover the total amount of $550. 200 of that will be for the court-appointed fees. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
Yolanda, this is Yolanda. He actually has 2 cash bonds, so
Yeah.
it's only going to be $65.
Okay, what's the total of his 2 cash bonds?
He has one for $430 and one for $185.
Okay. So
Well,
he will get some money back.
Yeah, I paid. I was gonna bring that up. I
He
knew
paid
that.
a total of $615.
Yeah, I paid.
Yes, sir. So you will be refunded $65. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So let me go over this again. You paid 2 cash bonds, one for $430, one for $185. Do you understand that, Mr. Ellis?
Yes, sir.
When you add the 2 cash bonds together, that comes to a total of $615, sir. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your total fine, including court-appointed fees, is $550. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Therefore, you will get a refund of your cash bond of $65. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So they will need to know where to send the refund amount to unless you are just going to pick it up. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I'll just pick it up at some point.
All right, well then why don't you coordinate with them at some point? I would set this out about 3 to 4 weeks and set a time to come by the courthouse to pick that up. Ms. Green, is he able to come and pick that up?
Yes, he'll have to sign for it.
Okay. They will take you through the requirements of what you need to do, Mr. Ellis. You may want to call in advance to make sure that you know all the requirements before you drive over there, okay?
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, that will conclude the matter with Mr. Ellis.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Stinson. You guys have a good
Judge.
All right, Mr.
Welcome.
Ellis, you can disengage from the call. Let's go to the next one, Mr. Stinson.
Judge, what was, Corvez Harris.
I'm here.
All right, what are
And
we doing
Judge-
with Mr. Harris?
Judge, if before I can start with that, I needed to ask Mr. Marie Rose to look at the case of De La Rosa. The court was supposed to provide in that file. He's in the courtroom. We want to enter a plea on that. I know he was emailed his driving history.
Okay, I'm looking at it now.
Okay, all right, thank you. Mr. Harris is going to be a guilty plea to the DUI and the red light, Judge.
Mr. Harris, do you understand that by entering into the guilty plea to the DUI charge and the red light charge, you're doing this with the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, I do.
Sir, do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you're waiving your right to trial?
Yes, sir.
Sir, are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, I am.
And sir, do you believe it is in your best interest to enter into the plea?
Yes, I do.
Sir, the court will accept your guilty plea to the DUI and the traffic control device charge. The fine on the DUI is $1,295. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The fine on the traffic control device is $200. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your total base fine is $1,495. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
On the DUI charge, sir, well, you will be placed on probation for a term of 24 months. Do you understand that, Mr. Harris?
Yes, Your Honor.
12 months of your probation will be mandatory. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Which means after 12 months, if you fully comply with all terms and conditions, you can get off of probation. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
While on probation, you must complete 40 hours of community service at a recognized provider within the first 120 days. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
Do you also understand that you must complete a risk reduction course within the first 120 days? Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
You also understand that you must abstain from the consumption of alcohol and non-prescribed drugs during the term of probation. Do you understand that?
Absolutely.
Do you also understand that probation will perform random alcohol and drug screens?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Sir, do you?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I lost you.
You must
I don't-
comply with all terms and conditions of your probation. Did
I'm
you hear
sorry,
what I
Your-
said, Mr. Harris?
No, sir, I lost you.
All right. Sir, while on probation, you must comply with all terms and conditions. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Mr. Stinson, is he eligible for a first DUI conviction affidavit?
No, Judge.
All right. Sir, you're not eligible for a first DUI conviction affidavit. Is this his first DUI within 5 or 10, Mr. Stinson?
10. No, 5. I'm sorry.
So this is the second DUI.
Yes. Yes. Second and 5.
Second and 5. All right. That fine amount, sir, is $1,495 on the DUI because second. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
So the total fine, base fine, is $1,695. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
All right. Sir, do you understand that Mr. Stinson was appointed through the city of Forest Park? Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
The city does have the right to seek restitution for his court-appointed fees. Those fees cannot exceed $250. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the services of Attorney Stinson?
Yes, I am.
All right. Do you have any objection to the $250 being added to your fine balance?
No, I do not.
All right, that will bring your fine balance up to $1,945. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
That will be paid over the 24 months of probation, to which 12 months of that is mandatory. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Stinson, is there a factual basis that supports these charges?
Yes, there is, Judge.
And are there any modifications you want to make to the sentence of the court?
No, Judge.
All right, Mr. Prosecutor, are there any modifications you'd like to make, sir?
Oh, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Harris, that will be the sentence of the court. Mr. Harris, do you have any questions?
No, sir, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Harris, have you provided your email address to court personnel?
Yes, I have.
Ms. Yates, have his information.
Yes, I have it.
All right, Mr. Harris, you will receive your plea form and your probation information no later than close of business tomorrow. Please respond immediately and documents back you signed. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can disengage from, thank you.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr.
All right.
Stinson.
Okay.
You're welcome.
All right, are you ready for the trial of Robbie Berry on the accident charge, Mr. Prosecutor?
Judge, I am sure that I am. Let me just pull that up real quick.
Judge, if I may
Tina
address
Lee. Yes. What are you addressing, Mr. Stinson?
you and the solicitor. Judge, I think what's gonna transpire here at trial is this, and this may save the court some much needed time. This was a rear end collision. My client was issued a citation for no brake lights. The officer, after responding to the scene, had my client test to see if her brake lights were working, okay? By that point, the rear end of the car was smashed up. So obviously, we don't know if they were working prior to the accident or not. The testimony that's going to come forward is from my client that says her brake lights were working, and from the victim who said her brake lights weren't working.
So it is my understanding you're saying that Miss Tina Lee rear-ended Miss Robbie Berry.
Correct.
Okay. Was Miss Tina Lee charged with the violation?
No, Judge, she was not. My understanding, she was not.
Okay.
Actually,
Well,
she
let us-
was, Judge.
All right. Well, let us hear this. Now, okay. Miss Robbie Berry.
She's coming, Your Honor.
Okay. And then Tina Lee.
Good morning, sir.
All right. Are you Miss Berry?
Yeah.
All right. And Miss Lee?
Yes, sir.
Was this an incident in which your car rear-ended Miss Berry's car, and the allegation is that Miss Berry's brake lights were not working?
Yes, sir. She did not have any brake lights, no lights. And I showed up in court. She did not show up in court, so they dismissed me. I was dismissed.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
you were charged with following too closely, is that correct?
Correct, sir.
And they dismiss your charge?
Yes, sir.
All right. Then what the court is going to do is to dismiss this charge as well.
Sir, I
And,
don't understand. I don't understand. I'm so sorry I don't understand.
Miss Berry? Miss Berry?
Yes, sir.
Your ticket is dismissed. Please stop talking.
Oh, okay.
All right, you both are free to, can we get Miss Berry's plea form to which she's entered a not guilty plea? And then we will give her the order of dismissal, and that will conclude the traffic offense. We still need to deal with the DUI charge at a later time.
Yes, sir.
Judge, on Miss Berry's other case, I'm kind of at a loss right now because it's my understanding this is a DUI case, that the only thing we have is a citation that says she was charged with DUI drugs. I've been advised by the clerk's office that there's been no And it says DUI drugs less safe, see report, but there's no report.
So what I want to do,
So-
Mr. Stinson, is let's continue this to see, because it may just be that
Yeah.
there is no report at the clerk's office, and it may be one that exists. But I totally get
Okay.
your point, and if one does not exist in life, then yes, this case will be dismissed.
Okay, well, thank you, Judge. That's what we need to do. I need to continue that so I can
So what
find that.
do is continue Miss Berry's DUI drug case to determine if there is a police report or other information, and to get Malone available. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
thank you, Judge.
So, no problem. So what case do we have left other than the Della Rosa and the Red Speed? Do we have any other cases on the municipal court calendar?
Yes.
You should have an Ashley Phaeton.
Yes, she came in late. What is
Sherry
the
Smith?
announcement on that?
I need to pre-trial with her for just a minute.
All right.
Was
then-
Sherry Smith an FTA?
No, she's here. She's been
Sherry
here.
Smith, and I need to pre-trial with her as well.
Okay. Sherry Smith has a failure to maintain insurance charge. All right. If we can allow Mr. Stinson to speak to the, and why don't we go ahead? Does that take care of the rest of our municipal court calendar? We can go ahead and handle the Red Speed.
Yes, Judge, I just have the 3 clients that I need to resolve. One.
Yeah, it looks like 2 of them are physically here at the courthouse, so they're gonna have to let them get in a pod for you all to go to a break room.
Right.
All right.
Are you scheduling for the break room?
I'm sorry?
The clerks. Are you going to room 2, Mr. Stinson?
I don't know where you're sending me.
Okay, let's see.
You have control of the buttons there, and
So you, Ms. Green, you guys still have room 1 available where me and Mr. Simpson pre-trial cases? You can go in there because I don't need to go in there.
Okay, so just go ahead back to 1, Mrs. Stinson.
okay.
All right. You want to go ahead and handle the red light?
Good. Red speed cases. So it looks like we only have 2 red speed cases. Those are Chisholm.
Right.
Hey, remember Luis Santiago?
All right. Whitney Brianna Chisholm. Let me have you to unmute, young lady.
Oh.
Miss,
Okay, I apologize. This is Whitney Chesnam on the line. I at the top of the screen, as I am on a mobile device, it is also something up there that shows where it's muted. And every time I hit that, I've been thinking I've been unmuting myself the entire time. So I apologize about my tardiness
that is
to
okay.
unmute.
You are here on our red speak charge. Let me ask you something. Let me have you to first raise your right hand. You swear or affirm everything you're about to say to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, young lady, were you operating this vehicle on September the 6th, 2022 at 11:29 a.m.?
No, sir. No, Your Honor. And actually, I submitted the affidavit to the court. I don't know if the court have received it, but I'm also willing to bring the affidavit in person because I
And
would have
what
done
did
it
the
anyway.
affidavit say?
It basically said I was not the operator of the vehicle on that date.
Who was the operator?
Honestly, at this time, I'm not sure. I was in the process. Well, I asked my mom because at one point in time I was not able-bodied to make my own movements to go do things. I had asked my mom if she could file the reports on my stolen tags because that was an issue. I do not know. I was honestly also going to ask for a reset. I sent that in the mail. The court may receive
Well,
that. I don't know if they've already
let
received
me
it or.
say something to you, young lady. I'm
Yes, sir.
trying to, I just need for you to just answer a few basic questions, and that may help us to get to the bottom of this. All right, so let's first do this.
Okay.
Did this car belong to you? Do you own a 2020 Volkswagen Passat?
I do own a 2020 Volkswagen Passat.
Is it silver in color, and is that your car depicted in this scene?
I do own a silver Volkswagen Passat. However, I have not had time to verify if that is my car there that's in the screen because I have.
Then
Okay.
I'm going to continue this because that's something that I know you could do very easy. Okay?
Yeah.
Which is verify your car.
Right.
And you and I both know that. So I'm gonna continue this to give you time because I just need to know if this is your car. And until you can tell me that, I can't do any further. So we're going to continue your case to give you time to tell me whether or not this is your car, and then I can address all the other things that I need to address.
Okay.
So this case will be continued to give you time to tell me whether or not this is your car.
Okay.
Ms. Green, let's continue her case, and I'm continuing it just to verify whether or not this is her car.
The only reason why verification again needs to be done because I do own a 2020 Volkswagen Passat that's silver. However, my vehicle has tints and has had tints since I purchased it. This vehicle does not have tints. Well, since my purchase day, I have an invoice and I have proof of where I tinted my vehicle after purchase. I can give you the purchase date. I can give you the proof of tinting. This vehicle in this date on that time does not have tints. So that is another reason why it makes me believe it possibly may not be my car because my tags were stolen. So that's just it. But I appreciate the continuance. I will bring that proof back as well.
Okay, and you will bring back the proof of your car along with your registration information, is that correct? And your license number, is that correct?
Yes, so you are requesting at this time license number, proof
Your
of
license
registration.
number and your registration number. Bring all of that back and that will help me to get to the bottom of this, okay?
Yes, and I also provide evidence of where I was at that time and at that date.
And if you can tell me who would have been driving your car. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we will continue this to give you time to do that.
May
Let
I
me
know?
make a recommendation to you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Go look at this statute because you're making this a lot more difficult than what it needs to be. I'm just going to share that with you. Go read this statute 40-14-18. It tells you what you need to provide to the court. But by you telling me you're not sure that this is your car, that is creating some impediments for me to resolve this, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you will be given, Ms. Green, do we have her contact information?
Ooh.
And if we do not, young lady, will you please type your name and email address in the chat?
Yes, sir. I did it at the beginning, but I can do it again.
Please do it again.
I have her email address.
Okay, then we will continue her case. All right. Does she have one case or two cases?
2.
That's what okay. Give her both of those dates. If she's saying she's not sure, that's her car.
That's not what I am, but I will bring patient.
Okay. Do you want me to go through the other ticket to see if you want to give me the same response?
One moment. I think I have the other ticket here.
All right. Can you all pull up the other ticket for me? All right. The other date is August 3rd, 2022 at 12:32 p.m.
So, Your Honor, I own both of the, I definitely own a 2021 Mercedes Benz. So my thing is, I just was not the driver. So that's why I feel like it's not me, but I do own both of these vehicles and it has my tag. So if you would like to give me a reset,
I'm gonna give you a reset on both of them. Now, young lady, it looks like this one is a Volkswagen Passat and not a Mercedes Benz. Do you understand that?
So are you saying it's, okay, now I'm confused. The one that we're talking about is a Volkswagen Passat. I thought you said there were two cases and that's
you
why I
have two
thought.
different tickets, 2 different days, but they both relate to a 2020 Volkswagen Passat.
Okay, yeah, I don't have that in front of me. I can write that down.
In other words, both tickets involve the same car and the same tag.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, no, I definitely own the 2020 Volkswagen Passat, so I have no problem. I do own the car. I just wasn't driving, so that's what made me feel like it wasn't my car. But I have no problem giving you that affidavit and reading the statute. I have read it, so I'll read it again. But thank you.
Okay. No problem. Both cases will be continued. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. All right. That takes care of your red speed. So what we should have left is Mr. De La Rosa, but we need Mr. Stinson for that.
Madam Clerk, in reference to Mr. De La Rosa, let me make sure that I'm correct. I see that we have copies of citation. I have the driving history was forwarded to me, but I don't see any report. So we verify that there is no report.
There is a report.
Hold on for me.
Yeah, so my copies don't have a report attached to it.
I'll make sure you receive one. Hold on.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Judge, I have an announcement on 2 of the other cases.
What are the other cases? Tell me which ones.
Sherry Smith,
All
the no
right.
insurance. Judge, she advised me that they believe there was insurance on the vehicle before. Given the nature of this charge, Judge, I would like a continuance to see if we can find out if there was in fact insurance.
And that the insurance covered her.
Yes.
Okay. So you're asking for a continuance on Sherry Smith. That continuance is granted. All right, what else?
Ashley Phaeton, we're gonna have a negotiated plea to, the city's gonna has recommended an amendment to reckless driving, and we'll have a guilty plea to that and the improper erratic lane change.
Is this the first DUI or reckless driving in 5 or 10?
First in life.
All right. Okay. All right, Mr. Prosecutor, is that your understanding of a negotiated plea?
It is, Your Honor.
All right, let's go ahead and bring Ms. Phaeton up. Ms. Phaeton, is my understanding you're entering a guilty plea to the reduced charge of reckless driving, is that correct?
Yes,
You're also entering a guilty plea to the lane change charge.
yes,
You understand that you're entering this plea with the assistance of Attorney Michael Stinson.
yes,
Are you also entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
yes,
Do you believe it is in your best interest to enter into a guilty plea to the reckless driving and the improper lane change charge?
yes,
And do you understand that by entering this plea that you are waiving your trial and there will be no trial in this case?
yes,
The court will accept your guilty plea. Attorney Stinson, is there a factual basis that supports the charges?
There is, Judge.
The court will accept the guilty plea to the reduced charge of reckless driving and the lane change charge. The fine on the reckless driving is $1,295. The fine on the lane change is $200. Do you understand that, Ms. Phaeton?
yes,
Your total base fine is $1,495. Do you understand that?
yes,
Now, you will be placed on probation for 24 months. 12 months of your probation will be mandatory. Do you understand that?
yes,
While on probation, you must comply with the following. You must complete 40 hours of community service with a recognizable community service provider within the first 120 days. Do you understand that?
yes, but I have a question about that. It's hard for me to complete community school because I work 2 full-time jobs, so I don't know where I'm gonna find the time to do community.
You're gonna need to find the time. The alternative is jail.
Okay, I'll find the time.
You also understand that you must complete a risk reduction course within the first 120 days.
Now I completed one previously, right after I have to do another one.
You will need to do another.
No.
one. Do you understand that, Ms. Phaeton?
Yes,
Do you also understand that you must abstain from the consumption of alcohol and non-prescribed drugs, and probation will perform random alcohol and drug screens? Do you
okay,
understand that?
yes,
You also understand that you must undergo drug and alcohol evaluation, and if they recommend treatment, you must partake of that treatment. Do you understand that?
yes,
You understand that you must comply with all terms and conditions of your probation.
yes,
You understand that if these terms and conditions are complied with, including the payment of all fines and fees, your probation can end as early as 12 months. Do you understand that?
yes,
All right, is she eligible for a first DUI conviction affidavit?
Yes, Judge.
All right, young lady, the court will issue a first DUI conviction affidavit. Your license either are in suspension or will be in suspension upon me signing the order. This affidavit will make you eligible for what's called a limited driving permit. Do you understand?
yes,
All right, you must comply with all terms and conditions of that limited driving permit in order for your full driving privileges to be reinstated. Do you understand that?
yes,
All right. Now, Attorney Stinson was appointed through the city of Forest Park. Do you understand that?
yes,
At the time of the appointment, the city did intimate that it might seek restitution for the court-appointed fees. That amount could not exceed $250. Do you understand that?
yes,
The court is inclined to award to Attorney Stinson the fees of $250. Do you understand that?
yes,
If they are awarded, they would be added to your fine balance. Do you understand that?
yes,
Do you have any objections to the fees being added to your fine balance?
no,
The court will order that $250 is added to your fine balance of $1,460, thus bringing your total balance up to $1,745. Do you understand that?
yes,
Do you have any questions you'd like to ask me regarding the sentence of the court?
no.
All right, Ms. Phaeton, have you provided the court with your email address?
Sorry, I do have a question.
What is your question?
I was told that I won't have a DUI conviction on my records. However, it's currently one on there. So how long does it take to fall off? Because my insurance is very high due to that. So I'm just curious on how long does it take to fall off?
It doesn't come off. You were arrested for DUI. So in this particular case, now I don't know about any other matters, but in this particular case, your charge is being amended to a reckless driving. So the conviction will be on the reckless driving.
Okay,
Do you understand that?
yes,
All right. Do you have any other questions?
no,
All right. Have you provided them with your email address?
yes.
All right, Ms. Green, do we have her information?
Yes, I'm gonna have her fill out some stuff before she leaves.
All right, have her to go ahead and do her plea form and to go ahead and provide her with her probation information. And that will conclude everything with you, Ms. Payton. Do you understand that?
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you. So last, we should have Mr. Delarosa charged with, and what are we doing? Mr. Delarosa, I'm going to have you to please sit up, sir. What are the charges for Mr. Delarosa?
Your Honor,
Judge, okay, go ahead.
Mr. De La Rosa was charged with tag violation, operating without vehicle without a valid tag, and also a DUI.
And what is the announcement on Mr. Delarosa today?
Judge, he's going to enter a plea today. I was going to ask Mr. The solicitor if he would consider a reduction to the reckless driving. And I believe he was just getting an opportunity to review if he makes a recommendation, we're going to enter a guilty plea to that. If not, we'll go forward with the guilty plea to the DUI.
All right.
I'm
You
just
need a
trying to
moment to look at that, Mr. Prosecutor?
I actually have reviewed it, Judge. I need 1 second to confirm. I sent Ms. Green.
All right, let me let you do that. I'm going to step away for 1 minute, and when I come back, we can we'll have some movement on Mr. Delarosa.
Okay. Ms. Green, if you could, please look at your text message and respond to my question.
I'm looking, I don't think we still have an Officer Allen. I gotta look at my roster. Andrea, Ms. Yates, or Ms. Payton, can y'all check the new roster?
Allen?
Allen, Officer Allen.
No, ma'am.
No solicitor, we don't.
As I'm looking at Officer Allen on this report, I know it's Officer Green, but Officer Allen is on
I don't even remember that name.
Okay, that answers my question. So yes, I would be agreeable to amending it to a reckless on that. The one question that I do have also is it looks like this was sent what Officer Green recovered was suspected MDMA, and that was sent off to the GBI for testing. Do we get the results of that?
Hold on 1 moment, please.
Because the last part of the report states that he was going to take out warrants for VGCSA when he got back on duty. I just want to make sure that if we take this plea today, then that's where it stops. I don't want to.
I don't have any further attachments, and I would have to inquire with the evidence technician.
That's
To
fine.
see if he has anything.
So, Mr. Stinson, as it stands, it's just those 2 charges. I know you read the bottom of that report where it basically talked about he field tested it, came back as MDMA, but he sent it to the lab. We don't have any results that we have attached to it, so we're just looking at those 2 charges. And I'll amend it to a reckless on the DUI.
All righty. So as soon as the judge gets back, we can go ahead and enter the plea.
All right, gentlemen, what are we doing?
we're going to enter a guilty plea to the amended to reckless driving and the tag violation.
Okay.
And this is first in life for an affidavit.
All right. And how old is Mr. De La Rosa?
Judge 22.
He's 22?
Yeah.
All right. Mr. De La Rosa, through counsel, it's my understanding you're entering a guilty plea to the tag violation and the reduced charge of reckless driving. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
You understand that by entering into the plea that you're doing this with the assistance of an attorney, Michael Stinson?
Yes, sir.
You also understand that you're, by entering this plea, you are waiving your right to a trial.
Yes, sir.
Sir, are you entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And sir, do you believe it is in your best interest to enter a guilty plea to the reduced charge of reckless driving and the tag charge?
Yes, sir.
Attorney Stinson, is there a factual basis that supports the two charges?
Did you hear me?
Yeah, Attorney Stinson, is there a factual basis that supports the two charges?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. De La Rosa, the court will sentence you accordingly. You will be placed on probation for 24 months. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
12 months of your probation will be mandatory. If you've complied with all terms and conditions within the first 12 months, your probation can then end. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. Just quick question. I'm just confused. You said 12 months are mandatory, but the other 24?
Okay.
I'm
The
not
total
understanding
probation
that.
is 24 months, but if you've complied with all terms and conditions, you can get off as early as 12 months.
And that's the soonest?
Excuse me?
That's the earliest, just 12 months?
The earliest that you can get off of probation is 12 months. That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Now, while on probation, you must complete 40 hours of community service within the first 120 days at a recognized community service provider. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You also must complete a risk reduction course within the first 120 days. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You must undergo drug and alcohol evaluation, and if treatment is recommended, you must partake of that treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You also understand that you must abstain from the consumption of alcohol and non-prescribed drugs while on probation, and that probation will perform random alcohol and drug screens. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. It's my understanding that you are eligible for a first DUI conviction affidavit. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
This affidavit will grant to you what's called a limited driving permit.
Judge, this is amended to a reckless, so he doesn't need, there's not going to be a suspension.
He doesn't? Okay. All right. That is correct. Thank you for clarifying that, Mr. Prosecutor.
No worries.
There is no need for a first DUI conviction affidavit, and that probably applies to some of the other ones that we made that you may have produced down as well.
Yes, Judge, you were on a roll. I wasn't gonna
Well, that's
interrupt.
okay. I appreciate that, Mr. Stinson, but feel free. I do get in a role, but I can become a little robotic at times. So let's clear it up to make sure we keep the record straight. But I do appreciate that. All right, young man, then that will be the sentence. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask me regarding your sentence?
No questions about that, but how much would like the fines be?
Your fine right now is $1,445. Do you understand that?
And I have 24 months to pay that off and 12
You
months.
have 24 months to pay that off. Now, Attorney Stinson, is this a court appointed or is this a private appointment?
Court appointed.
All right. The city does have the right to seek restitution for the court appointed fees not to exceed $250. Do you understand that, Mr. De La Rosa?
Yes, sir.
If the court were to award that, it would be added to your fine balance. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
That brings your total fine balance to $1,695. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any objection to the court-appointed fees being added to your fine balance?
No questions.
All right, do you have any objections?
No.
All right, the court will to the city, the court-appointed fees of $250. The total amount of fine and fees that will be probated, which does not include any monthly probation fees, is $1,695. Mr. De La Rosa, have you provided the court with your email address?
I have.
All right, Ms. Yates or Ms. Payton, do we have his email information?
Yes.
All right, Mr. De La Rosa, that will conclude this matter. You will receive your plea form and your probation information no later than close of business tomorrow. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, do you have any questions, sir?
I guess with the email that I'll be receiving, will that be sending the information with how to I make my payments?
Yes, it will. And to set up your initial meeting with probation.
You said set up a meeting with my probation officer?
That is correct.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
All right. Attorney Stinson, is there anything else that you need to say regarding the De La Rosa matter?
No, Judge.
All right. Well, that will conclude the De La Rosa matter. Mr. De La Rosa, you can disengage from the phone call.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you. All right. Do we have any other matters on this morning's calendar?
I think we're good.
That's everything good.
All right. Does that take care of everybody?
It does, Your Honor. I do have an announcement at about 1 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Arraignment in Henry County that starts at 1:30.
Say that again.
So I've been called into an arraignment for Henry County that starts at 1:30.
And you're not the person that's on the docket, right?
Oh, no, I don't get in trouble like that,
I
Judge.
didn't think you did. So I
Listen.
will take care of the 1 o'clock